St. John's suffered an embarrassing loss to Arkansas, losing 75-66 last Saturday. The biggest story besides Cal beating Pitino to move to the Sweet 16 was the absolutely abysmal shooting from both teams. But the next biggest story comes with Big East Player of the Year RJ Luis. Luis had an absolutely awful game, putting up only 9 points on 3 for 17 shooting, and as bad as he played, you would expect a player of his caliber to be in the final moments of an elimination game no matter what. But Rick Pitino made the decision to bench him for the last 5 minutes of the game. In the post-game interview, when Pitino was asked about it, he said this.
Played 30 minutes. It's a long time.
So he was tired.
No, played 30 minutes and I went with other people. You already know the answers, Roger. You're asking leading questions. You already know it. So don't ask leading questions. You already know why he didn't play.
So let's look at the film and see why Pitino decided to bench the Big East Player of the Year. In this first possession, we're going to see RJ Luis come off a handoff and miss the layup. That's okay. Rick Pitino does not care about missed shots, but look at the effort. Is this effort you want from your best player in an elimination game? He just got ran off the screen. A couple minutes later, we see the same thing. After he misses a layup that he usually makes, he has no heart, no effort, and no hustle. Just look at him jogging up the court. And Rick Pitino sees this and he says something to him. I think he's pointing to RJ and telling him to get into that gap, but I'm not sure. I would love if someone could help me out. Now look at this right here. RJ is not hustling for this rebound. Carter Knox has a great opportunity to grab the rebound. RJ should be over there contesting the rebound, but he's not. He lets the rebound get grabbed, and Rick Pitino sees this, points to the bench, gets Ruben Prey in the game. If you thought the previous two clips were bad, wait till you watch this one. St. John's gets out in transition like they love to do. Now RJ is open, but they don't hit him. You're going to see Davion Smith hit Vince Iwuochukwu and he misses the layup. Now look at this effort. He's off the screen. He's nowhere near the play, and now because of that, Johnell Davis gets the ball for a scoop and score, and Rick Pitino is forced to call a timeout. After the timeout, RJ's on the bench, but not only that, he has associate head coach Steve Masiello talking to him. Now, I have no clue what was said, but I can't imagine any of the St. John's coaches were happy with what they saw in the first 8 minutes. And this play right here with 2:49 left in the first half is where I think RJ Luis checked out. Look at this terrible mental mistake. He just fully bulldozes Billy Richmond for a stupid offensive foul. The second half was not much better for RJ, as DJ Wagner comes off a screen and beats Aaron Scott to get a layup. Just look at RJ Luis standing there. I'm gonna play it back. Just look at this. Just look at this. He can at least step up and put a hand up. Look at where DJ Wagner lays the ball up. You're telling me RJ Luis can't step up and at least try to challenge that shot? A minute after that play, RJ's on the bench again. But this time, Steve Masiello is giving him an extensive conversation. Now, I have no clue what was said, but you can't imagine this St. John's coaching staff is happy with his performance so far. I caught something during this play that leads me to believe that RJ Luis was disengaged in this game. As Kadari Richmond lays the ball up, look at the bench. Everyone is standing up except for one player, RJ Luis. A couple minutes after that conversation, RJ gets checked back into the game and he has another defensive breakdown leading to a lob. Now I'll give RJ the benefit of the doubt on this play because the way he's angling his body, I think he thought the screen would be on his left shoulder, so he expected Zuby Ejiofor to have his back and help. Now this isn't as bad as the other ones, but again, it's a straight line drive, so I have to include it. The reason I was so hard on RJ in that last clip is because this is what RJ Luis defense looks like. He fights over the screen. He's making DJ Wagner spin and turn, and that's a tough shot that Rick Pitino will live with. But this is where I think RJ was in his own head. He sees DJ Wagner gave him a bucket, so now he comes down the court and forces this trash. That's terrible. He's lucky Zuby Ejiofor bailed him out. The very next possession after that terrible shot, he misses a defensive assignment. You see, Johnell Davis got to the rim so easily, but why is that? RJ Luis is hugging Billy Richmond. This is terrible floor spacing by Arkansas. RJ Luis can easily get to that free throw line, get to that nail, and step up. But that's not even the worst of it. Look at what he does after this made shot. He gives the ball to Davion Smith, and now he's walking. Look at Aaron Scott. Aaron Scott runs to the rim, and he gets this rebound. RJ Luis never crossed the three-point line that entire play. Most of my knocks on RJ this game have been from his effort, but I want to highlight some of his terrible shot selection that led to him shooting 3 for 17. There's so many plays this game where he drives with his head down, runs into the trees in the paint, and throws up some garbage. A couple minutes after that first bad shot, we see another terrible layup attempt. After he beats John L. Davis, he just runs into a wall and gets his shot blocked. And I have to give Arkansas credit on the scouting report. I think this was their game plan to let RJ beat them and see if they could challenge him at the rim. This was the final possession of the game where we saw RJ Luis, and after every bad thing he's done this game, Rick Pitino draws up a play to give him the ball in a pick and roll and let him operate. Rick Pitino had the ultimate trust in his best player, but this is the shot selection RJ Luis takes. Not only that, look at his effort. Billy Richmond beats him down the court. If DJ Wagner makes this pass right here, it's probably a layup. That's why Billy Richmond was so upset. After watching all of these clips, I think RJ Luis deserved to be benched. Rick Pitino lost trust in his best player, and he put the 5 players on the court that he trusted the most to make the right decisions. Good effort is already not acceptable for Rick Pitino and his coaching staff, and that would be very, very generous to describe RJ's effort. But it is very easy to question the decision from Rick Pitino. RJ Luis is the best shot creator and three-point shooter on the St. John's roster. They were really missing that shot-making ability and three-point shooting in the last 2 minutes of the game with the lineup that they had on the court. So I'll pose the question, what would you have done if you were Rick Pitino? Would you have kept your best player on the bench despite his terrible play, or would you trust him in those final 2 minutes to finally figure it out? Please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm very curious to hear all the different philosophies and theories, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe because I have so much that I'm ready to cover from March Madness.